Welcome to In the Chute, part 2 of being thankful. My mom says, "Hey, we still gotta talk about this stuff." So I'm starting the timer. Yeah, that was the last one was a little long.
Oh,
So
sorry.
we're gonna start another 15 minutes, and then maybe we'll get my dad, and that might be a part 3 because he likes to talk too. So now we're gonna talk about the 10 things that we were thankful for. So go
I'm a
ahead, mom. What did you want to
professional.
talk about?
I'm a professional, damn it. I talk all the time. Okay. So, um, oh, the opportunity for family traditions.
Oh yeah.
That was why we when grandma and grandpa said, if one of you kids wants to buy the place, we're thinking we're tired, we're done. And so dad said, let's see if we can figure out a way where you can stay there and keep living at the ranch like you want to, but it's not like an all out sale where we kind of pass it on generation to generation so that each generation's not constantly rebuying it, and we can instead use those resources to improve it and maybe even gain back some land that once was family that is now owned by other people, when they maybe decide to sell. So anywho, that's how we got the Hashknife LLC set up. And the big thing was, at the time, I remember dad saying to me, all right, um, what do you think? Do you think we should do this? And I said, as important as the ranch and ranching is to you, and we want the boys to be able to experience that and have that opportunity, I think there's no other answer but we do it, because otherwise you wouldn't get to play with the cows like you do.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple, in a small plot, but you wouldn't get to do the larger thing, like moving cattle from one spot to another. That's not something that would happen if you only had a couple cows that you had in the back pasture.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of heartache with it too, though. So it's like you're a
I know.
it's like you're a what is it? There's a term for that. A glutton for punishment. There you go. I don't know why I couldn't.
Yeah, I think that's probably a really good definition of ranching and farming. You're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, because
What else?
and that is kind of funny, because I mean, I always get so nervous about moving the cows, and it's based on the fact that it's usually dad and I. Sometimes we have another person with us, and I
Mm-hmm.
always worry that we don't have enough help. And then that one year that those three cows decided, oh, this is a highway, we're not crossing it. Oh my God, I was so mad at them, out there yelling at them, come on, cows, trying to get them to come across.
That would be one of the few times where it'd be nice to have a hot shot. Let's be very clear here, people. We don't have a hot shot.
No,
What's a
I
hot
don't
shot?
even
It's
know
like
what
a
it
little.
looks
It's a
like.
little electric sticker that you
A
can like kind
probe
of put
kind
up
of
on
thing.
their hip, and it'll shock them just a little bit, and it'll get them to go. But that's one of those few times you'd be like, just go across.
I was so mad at them. And because I always, it's like PTSD. It's like, oh, what if they do this? Well, we've not had any more issue. Well, now, end of the year, it's time for the girls to come home, right? So we got a couple weeks. We're going to bring them home. Last year, I almost couldn't beat them home. We opened the gate for the pasture they're going into first. We go back to where,
Good thing you did
we're going to
that.
go grab them. And they were already at the gate, every single one of them. I opened the gate and they're like, boom. And I'm on the radio to dad, and it's like, I'm trying to get ahead of them. And I was in the side by side trying to get around them to get ahead of them, because, we have to cross a highway
Yeah.
and make sure that everybody's okay. But there was no problem getting them home.
Hey, they like to be home. You know.
They want to be
Maybe
home.
maybe grass was greener on the home side.
And this year um, we shouldn't have a problem, but I worry every single time. We'll see if Braden can come home, because it'll be a Sunday this year, so
Yeah, make
that'd be
him
good.
work.
Well, and it's nice to have a couple, 2, 3 riders in the back, just because sometimes they, get sidetracked and, oh, hey, you're a cow. What's your name? Because they go by a couple fields. Oh, here's a piece of grass. Maybe I should try it out. But I think you guys have had a chance to do a lot of things that a lot of people don't get to do.
Yeah.
And especially like horseback, because your dad is very much a traditionalist. If he could do 100% of it on horseback, he would.
Well, you can do everything on horseback. The problem is it just makes things more efficient and easier to use, like, for example, a side by side as the carrot.
Right. Right. Yeah. And they see that side by side and they think,
They've been trained.
whoo.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing, because if they're trying to get away from a side by side and you really need them, that's a bad thing.
But also
But
too, why does dad do things so traditionally, like you're saying, is there's a reason behind it, because a lot of the people that don't use horses tend to use four-wheelers or other things, and it riles up the herd, and it can cause further issues, and it
it
causes
can.
also personality issues within the herd. And using, I think, the horses has helped with disposition, handling. It makes things a lot easier, more smooth, and less cowboyish.
Right. Right. Yeah, because you don't really want to get them all wound up and that's the
Mm-mm.
thing is trying to minimize the stress and that on the animals and on
Yeah.
you. I mean, and if things are going smooth, then you're not stressed out either,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
remember I remember helping dad a couple of times with people that are not like that. And it was very stressful being around those animals, because you're constantly trying to like fight them back. Like they're not calm at all. It's
Right.
like, especially with the calves, because the calves just got separated from their mothers, especially
Right.
during branding season. And I'm the little guy that's pushing them up the chute, and then I'm worried about getting stomped and run over. And
Yeah, I got run over the other day.
yeah, I heard dad told me.
He was about 550 pounds, maybe 5 and a quarter. He was a big calf. I
What
don't know.
other
I
things did you
can't.
want to talk about?
Um, the fuzzies, because like you said, there's so many personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And horses, you probably get more attached because of the way you handle them.
Yeah.
But the cows, there's still the cows. There's Big Rhonda, there's Ears, there's the twins, Frick and Frack.
Yep.
And it's just kind of funny because you do start associating the animals with some of these nicknames. And when they're with you for 10, 12 years, you do get attached, even though they are a livestock. And dad'll say you don't get attached to the livestock.
That's why every steer every year is named T-Bone.
Right. Right. T-bone. There goes T-bone. But no, I mean, there is a certain amount of attachment because they all have personality. And and dad and Big Rhonda. Oh my God. He just She's a
Of,
big raw boned girl, is
let's
what
just
he
say, of all the
says.
cows, I think he likes her the most.
I kind of think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see if we have newer versions of some of those personalities. And then, like I've learned to do a lot of things that I never imagined I would do. Never imagined I would live outside of a town, more than just like, on the edge of town with an acre of ground. That was my ideal of kind of a perfect setting. And
Dad came and
of
ruined that, didn't
dad
he?
came along and ruined that. And his comment is always, oh, you'll get used to it, or you'll learn to like it. Great. That usually means I have more work to do. Just saying.
Let's be clear. I've never said that to anybody.
You'll learn to like it.
Yeah, that's a horrible.
Your dad, he's quite the charmer. Yeah,
Yeah, I've been told a time or two.
I'm sure you have. How about you? Anything you want to expand on? The tractor and side by side are awesome, by the way. I just
Oh, I
want you to
know.
know that I'm the one who usually pushes the upgrade in technology and equipment.
That is true.
Brandon will be doing something. He and your grandpa. The bale spear comes to mind first of all. Grandpa,
Stop.
just
Stop. This is a whole nother segment in itself. Stop.
really?
Yeah, this
You're
needs to be
cutting
a
me
whole nother
short.
conversation.
Okay. Okay.
I'll just say I'm thankful, especially for the two ones that I'll say. You already said the fuzzy ones, but knowing how to work hard, because that has paid off for me, both good and bad. It's paid off for
Yeah.
me a lot in the military. And then um it's probably helped me cope a lot too since the last a little over a year too, because my mentality completely changed when I came back from Afghanistan. Because um I think people don't understand. For me, I didn't combat or anything like that. It wasn't me, but I was in an office, and when you work in an office all 7 days a week for close to 18 hours a day, you get into a certain way, and then to suddenly stop doing that, especially in COVID, because then you just go into quarantine for 2 weeks and you like lose your mind.
Right.
So going from that to finding ways to stay busy and stuff, it's very helpful. I think that's a part of it, of transitioning, that people don't see and they don't understand. So I think that's something that actually probably should, if people talk about mental health, that should be something in the military that they talk about.
And it's something you don't see because it's such a personal thing.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
some
going to be
people like being
different.
lazy and not doing a single thing, but that we've had conversations about this, like that would absolutely ruin me if I did that, because I would go into really bad places if I just stopped doing things.
Yep. Me
uh,
too. I got to stay busy.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, if Brandon hears this, I would like a day off once in a while to do absolutely nothing. His idea
Mom
of
wants a spa day, Dad.
no, 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 I don't want to go that far. I don't think I can handle that. But Dad's idea of, yeah, as soon as we're done with this, we'll go home and just relax and do nothing. Yeah, that doesn't ever
As soon as
happen.
we do this, it's only a 5-minute project.
5 hours
Five,
later.
no, 5 days later. Like, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and then the last one that I had was, it's a place to return. Like I said, um, some people, they figure it out when they're in the military, or they do other things in life. They're like, oh, I'm not going back or anything like that. I've always wanted to go back. There's been no other thing. And then to know that I have the support system back home, that's probably the easiest thing. Especially like,
Absolutely.
I got 2 years and already planning transition, and the transition, there's a lot to that if people don't realize it. And transitioning out of the military into civilian life, there's things that need to be done, plans need to be set, and being able to have that part already figured out is a big part.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
that's why I say
Well,
those are my
and the
things
fact
for me.
that you get to be with family. I mean, love
Yeah,
them or fight with them, they're family, right?
the
And
fuzzy
that
one.
just, I think that's better, the best to be able to be closer to that support system and um, be able to do things together.
Yeah. So now I need to get Dad's top 10, see where we're similar and we're different, the three of us.
Yeah, I want to see what the difference is.
So
He always is so he comes up with these really, really heartfelt messages. I mean, when I ask him things, he usually has this deeper meaning behind things. And it's like, really? Okay, I just like to do it. I just like so. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He'll be like, he'll come up with all these reasons why this was such a good thing. And it's like, I don't know. I just thought it was fun. All right. So we'll see what he comes up with.
Okay, we'll put this episode to pasture. Wait for number 3.